Testing.
Testing.
Are we coming in clear? I said, are we coming in clear? Do you know what that's from?
Is that from The Ghost and Mr. Chicken?
No. Oh my goodness. No, it's from the original movie of the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh.
Remember when Mike TV is trying to get transported?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a good show. Well, welcome to the
Self-help
Hangover
podcast.
We are
Kirk and
Megan,
Richard.
and we are we're continuing this epic series of episodes covering the book Think and Grow Rich, the classic self-help book by Napoleon Hill. We are on chapter
12.
The Subconscious Mind.
It's a miracle that people keep listening after our introductions because they're so cringy every time.
We don't actually know that people keep listening, do we?
I
don't know. Do we get like do they count listenerships, or what's the word? Do they count listens? Do you have to listen to a certain amount for it to count?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's some way we can see more detailed, like, listening time, maybe. But I'm not sure.
Know. I mean, I go on the creators' tools on Podbean and I see stats, but I don't really know what they mean.
Oh, really? Sure. So there's more stats than just listens?
I don't know. Okay. I mean, yeah, like who they are, where they are, and
oh, okay, yeah.
There's a few in Sweden, so thank you, Elena, for listening to our podcast.
Elena, who's Elena?
She's in my art class, and then she recently moved to Sweden.
Oh,
but we've got a few from different parts of the world. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so surprising.
Okay, the subconscious mind. You, quote, you may voluntarily plant in your subconscious mind any plan, thought, or purpose which you desire to translate into its physical or monetary equivalent, unquote.
Yeah. So I like this whole idea of the subconscious mind, because I honestly am a huge believer in that things in your, if you, like, thoughts in your subconscious mind it's just so much more powerful than, like, and I really don't know, like, much about it, but I feel like I'm listening a lot. This just makes me sound like really impressionable, but I'm always listening to things about the subconscious mind and, like, getting thoughts into your subconscious mind, and then those thoughts manifesting into reality. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Have you ever done kind of repetitive tasks during the day, and then as you're kind of dozing off to sleep, or maybe even while you're dreaming, you see your hands doing those tasks?
Absolutely. No, that's happened to me so many times. Every time I get a new job, I have a dream that I'm just working, like that I'm just doing that job.
Yeah.
It happens to me all the time.
And then also I've noticed when I am practicing the piano or any instrument or whatever, music, if I can do it the night, if I can practice for a while during the day and then sleep on it, it's like my brain is practicing while I'm asleep, or like reviewing those things and like building muscle memory and brain memory while I'm sleeping.
Yeah, and then you're better the next day.
Yeah,
Because that happens to
exactly.
me. Yeah, that totally happens to me. It's the same thing with like studying. It's like if I study the day before and then I get a good night's sleep, it just internalizes so much more than if I was to study the day of and do that same studying. I swear, I don't know. It's just something about like that sleep, like internalizing it or something. But
Yeah, I think this is one of the biggest themes from the book is if you get your subconscious mind working on a project, that it will get you that much closer, right? Like you can kind of program your subconscious mind through auto suggestion, reading your statement or whatever, with emotion. That's kind of planting in your subconscious mind those goals, uh, and then it's working on it. It's believing it. It's picturing it. So it's not just like your conscious efforts that are going towards it, but it's multiplied by the subconscious effort, right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's kind of a big theme of this book is like auto suggestion, getting thoughts into your subconscious mind, and doing that in order to manifest those thoughts in real life.
When you Well, he says that when you neglect to kind of purposefully program your mind, that like those desires in your subconscious mind, it will just feed the thoughts that are in there by default, right?
Yeah.
So if you're hanging around a lot of negativity, if you are there's a million things that you could focus on. Maybe it's the bad news online, or
Yeah.
maybe it's social media or whatever. Those your subconscious mind will kind of amplify those or just work on those
Yeah.
rather
Or absorb
than
those instead of.
moving towards a goal. A couple chapters back, there was this visualization he said that there's a two-way river and you're either going one way or the other. And we kind of said that that was simplified for us. We didn't really love that. But I think what he's saying is that there are currents, and whatever your subconscious mind is sitting in current wise, it's kind of going to move in that direction.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, might as well be purposeful of what you're trying to put into your subconscious.
Yeah. For sure.
So, do we like that idea?
I like it. Yeah.
I think I like it too. No, I mean, I do. I'll own that I like that idea. Now, he lists 7 major positive emotions, 7 major negative emotions, and asserts that positive and negative emotions cannot occupy the mind at the same time. What do you think about that?
That's interesting. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think if that's true. I just feel like I can go like so fast from a really positive emotion to a really negative emotion like really fast. So maybe they can't be in the mind at the same time, but like they can switch really fast.
That's what I've heard about multitasking, that you can't truly multitask. Your brain is just switching quickly back and forth
Oh,
between
really?
tasks. But in terms of emotions, I don't know. I've heard it said you can't have faith and fear at the same time. You can't have stress and gratitude at the same time. I don't know if I'm totally convinced.
Yeah.
Because the seven major positive emotions he lists here are desire, faith, love, sex, enthusiasm, romance, and hope. And the seven major negative emotions he lists here are fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, superstition, anger. And I think that you can feel like fear and sex at the same time, for example,
Yeah.
or love and superstition at the same time.
Yeah. I
So,
probably feel all 14 of those every single day.
yeah. But so he does say one or other must dominate. I could get behind that idea that one of them is dominating,
Yeah.
even if they're simultaneously existing. And the word dominate actually infers, isn't that kind of inferring that they can coexist at the
Yeah.
same time?
It is. Yeah.
Dominate. So that almost contradicts, those are two sentences that almost contradict each other. Positive and negative emotions cannot occupy the mind at the same time. One or the other must dominate. So, yeah, anyway, interesting.
Yeah.
If you. Okay, here he talks about prayer. That if you go into prayer with your mind filled with fear and doubt, that those emotions are passed on to infinite intelligence. And it is those emotions which infinite intelligence receives and acts upon. If you pray for a thing but have fear as you pray that you may not receive it, or that your prayer will not be acted upon by infinite intelligence, your prayer will have been in vain, unquote.
I don't think that's true
Yeah, I really
at
disagree with
all.
this
I
part.
think that's kind of toxic, honestly, because then it just makes you so anxious about how you're feeling, at least for me, like so hyper aware, and then you just are anxious that you're not like feeling the right way or something.
Yeah,
And then that's just something that I know would make me spiral if I really believed that.
yeah, I agree. Like, infinite intelligence is so unintelligent that it can't actually say, you're praying for something and I'll give it to you, or I won't give it to you because you had the wrong feeling when
Yeah.
you were asking for that thing. It just
Yeah, it
doesn't
just
make sense
doesn't.
to me.
Me neither.
Feels like a very capricious kind of infinite
Yeah.
intelligence,
Yeah, it
you know?
does.
So I don't agree that, like, desperation, how many prayers are said in desperation?
Oh, yeah.
And you think infinite intelligence is saying, oh, you're praying with the wrong feeling, so I'm
No.
not gonna, you know.
I feel like every time, well, not every time, but a lot of the times I've like said like a genuine prayer is when I'm like in desperation, like please help me.
Yeah. Now, is it possible? I think it may be possible that we could be in such a constant state of negativity that we're repelling people and opportunities and things that we want in our lives. You know, I think about the mother on Pride and Prejudice, how intense she is, you know, and how she's always like kind of repulsive in her anxieties. I think that that's possible.
Do you think I'm like that?
No, did I?
Okay.
No, I
I
no,
just
not
got
at
like an
all.
intrusive thought that was about me.
It
But
was that was not about you. I'm nope at all, not at all. I'm just this idea
yeah,
of
no, I definitely
like if
think.
Mrs. Bennett, is that her name? Mrs. Bennett, the matriarch of the Pride and Prejudice household, if she was praying that Mr. Darcy would marry her daughter or throw a ball for them. But also, like, she was all up in his face and being totally, like, anxious and intrusive.
Okay.
That might work against her, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Dang, I'm sorry. I haven't seen Pride and Prejudice, but I get like what
You
you're
haven't
saying.
seen Pride
I
and
haven't
Prejudice?
seen it. No,
Megan,
I know.
I have not been doing my duty to educate you
As a father.
as a father and a brother of 5 sisters.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but yeah, I haven't seen it. I'll have to check it out sometime.
Okay, well, just think about how well Mrs. Bennet's prayers might be answered.
Okay. Yeah. No, but I get exactly what you're saying. Like I definitely do think that if you are so negative, that can definitely repel people for sure. Hi, this is Megan. If you're looking for a quick 30-minute yoga video to do in your free time, go check out my YouTube channel. It's called Meg's Fitness. You can also follow the link in my Instagram. My Instagram username is megs.fitness. I do YouTube videos. I have one out and I'm currently working on filming some more. So I will have some more posted ASAP. But go subscribe to my channel if you're interested in yoga.
So, the idea of prayer and the idea of the emotion that you put out there in prayer, now, whether you believe that it's God answering your prayer or the universe, or whether it's just like a meditative thing that changes you, that is, I think, what it's about is the change in you, right? It's the
Yeah.
change, the prayer, hopefully changes you, and if you are in desperation or some negative emotion, hopefully through your actions, but also acting, reaching out for help, right?
Yeah.
And the help of people around us can change us and can change our circumstances. I don't know everything that happens when we pray, but I don't think we have to say, I'm only going to pray when I'm totally full of positive emotions.
Yeah.
It just doesn't
No,
make sense to
not
me.
at all.
Quote from the book: "The time will come when the schools and educational institutions of the country will teach the science of prayer." Boy, that seems like an explosive statement today.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, that seems like what was the word? A combining of religion and
No separation of church and
separation
state.
of church and state. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me continue this quote. "Moreover, then prayer may be and will be reduced to a science. When that time comes, it will come as soon as mankind is ready for it and demands it. No one will approach the universal mind in a state of fear, for the very good reason that there will be no such emotion as fear. Ignorance, superstition, and false teaching will have disappeared, and man will have attained his true status as a child of infinite intelligence. A few have already attained this blessing."
I mean, that sounds like so far off from where we are as a society right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think it feels what's the word? Like unethical to force people to pray or like to teach about prayer in schools.
And he's almost, the way that he's described it, it almost sounds like a secularization of prayer. Prayer is becoming a science
Yeah.
rather than devotion, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a two-edged sword. The day will come when we'll teach prayer in schools, but the prayer will be science.
Yeah. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Not likely to happen in any
Anytime
time in the
soon.
near future.
Yeah, I couldn't see that happening.
This chapter is pretty short. Is there anything else that you want to talk about with regard to this chapter or the subconscious mind? Like, and have you used it in your own development? What have you found to be true or effective or, you know?
Honestly, I'm trying to I feel like I'm kind of trying to like get back into my practices that I've done in the past, such as writing, affirmations, meditation, and it's kind of like hard sometimes. I don't know why, but maybe it's just because I'm just in a weird place mentally after graduating for some reason, but I'm trying to like get back into like being a little bit more like spiritual, like connected with my intuition a little bit more, but I feel like in the past I've done affirmations and I feel like it's made a difference in my life. So I'll let you guys know as I'm starting to do my affirmations again. I'll let you know how that goes.
You know the surrealists,
No.
like the artists, like Dali?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
They were
yeah.
supposedly painting the subconscious.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, I wonder how much of it was actually, this is what I see in my dreams, or this is what I think is happening in my subconscious mind, or how much of it is like a creative, this would be look cool and maybe I'll dream about it. You know,
Yeah.
like how much of it was kind of manufactured or like really true dream states or something that they're remembering.
Yeah.
But it certainly is dreamlike imagery.
Yeah, it really is.
Anyway, I kind of changed the subject,
No.
but
No,
you
that's
are you're trying to get back into self affirmations, kind of programming your subconscious mind, and I'd love to hear how that goes.
thank you.
I think it's worth considering because it's easy to limit what you think just to think it's easy to be comfortable with the limitations that are currently kind of boxing your life, or it is for
Yeah.
me. Like, this is where I'm at, this is how far I can push before it's really uncomfortable. And so I think it is, but then every once in a while I get like this bird's eye view, like you could step out of this, Kirk, like you could push beyond these limitations.
Yeah.
and and I think it takes some psychological effort to do that.
It really does. Yeah.
And so that's something that every once in a while I get interested in doing and maybe do some, and then but it's so easy just kind of retreat back into what's comfortable.
It is, and that's something I'm trying to overcome because I think I want to like push myself out of my comfort zone, but it's hard sometimes, and it's hard to like to believe that I can do amazing things or something. But something I've been trying to do is if I think that I can't do something, then I'll say like if someone else has done that, then why can't I do that?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. They were human too, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a good point, and that we can use our subconscious mind as a good tool to get us, to push outward on those limitations. All right, well, that was chapter 12.
12.
12?
Yeah.
So
Chapter
we're
12.
coming close to the end of the book. We just want to say, if you have comments, ideas, please message, comment on our Instagram or send a DM to the Instagram. We'd love to do a wrap-up episode and discuss your thoughts about Think and Grow Rich, or your questions about Napoleon Hill, or anything related to what we've been talking about. And so go ahead and message us at the Instagram account, Self Help Hangover. Rate, review, subscribe. Anything else?
Nope. Thank you so much for listening, and thanks for your support.
Yeah.